most effective of different types of things.
Correct.
For me, I want people to be happy and educated, because I think for the long term, that does people the most good. Educated people have educated children, and they have less children, and they affect the world around them in more positive ways. So you have happy, educated people. That's what makes the world a better place. So that's what I like the most. And then I love animals. Their animal charity is really good. But if instead it's a particular, if you want to do stuff within the United States, or if you want to work with the very poorest people who have the hardest lives,
right,
or all those different things, the Bottom Billion Project is really good.
Oh, what's that now? I haven't even heard about that.
It's been around a long time.
Okay.
They do things that affect the bottom billion people.
Yeah.
And they tend to support these projects that will bring those people into more of a first or second world life.
Okay.
So things like the glasses that you don't need to see an optometrist. You just get these glasses, and there's screws in the side of them, and you turn the screws, and it injects more glycerin into the glass, or less glycerin into it, to change the focal point, so that you can basically make your own glasses. And they're like $6.
People are geniuses.
So they've last
really
I knew, this was a few years ago, was the last time I gave money to that one, but they've given away like 500,000 pairs of glasses. It's amazing. When there's an optometrist for every 600,000 people in Africa or something, it changes people's lives.
That's so good.
And they did the hippo water roller.
Okay.
Have you seen those?
Yeah,
Those are cool.
yeah.
That was one of the Bottom Billion projects funded things.
So I've probably seen some of their stuff. I just hadn't heard of the project.
Probably, yeah.
But we just had a nice win by Crystal there. So she raised pre-flop and got called by Rob on the button, on the big blind.
She looks really happy.
And she looks happy about it.
She's so pleased.
And then is she listening to us? I don't know.
She looks like she ate all the canaries.
It was interesting too, because then the board came like King 8-6 all spades. It went check, and she continued and got it through. But that's sort of it's a good board probably to bet, I suppose. But it can be a little dicey there when you don't know what Rob is defending his big blind with there. So nice win for Crystal.
I don't know who's playing this pot with Vic.
Crystal looks like she's reaching for chips.
Okay, so
Crystal's been pretty active.
Raised under the gun, and Vic called the button.
And she got another lead through.
She's running over the table.
She's playing well. Another lead through.
Sometimes a confident person becomes a confident player at a final table when they realize everybody's a little scared and they just start to kill it. And she looks very confident.
She'd make a great All for Africa winner.
She would.
They all would. I like all of these guys. I really do. I like all of them. But it'd be kind of fun to have her go all the way through. She's been Straight Flush has been just incredibly generous as well. They've donated a number of seats.
Oh, great!
She's also connected with Lake Show Sports, who's donated some great sports memorabilia, and so they've been fantastic supporters, as well as so many.
If you tried to list every supporter that donated something to this tournament, we would never have we'd never finish.
It would be a lot. Between individuals and the organizations.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. Because
pile of poker books and shirts and hats and hoodies and all the stuff that was given away.
Zach Elwood is got a ship and a raise and a re-raise maybe here.
Yeah,
or
they're all in.
Crystal's actually got a decision here, looks like.
Yeah.
She's in the big blind now.
She's out.
So Brian and Rocky.
Like they're fairly close stacks.
So the first card's in are Brian's.
Rocky's ahead. Rocky might have a few more chips, but it's close.
So Brian's here.
What happened to our camera?
So we lost a little bit of blur. So we don't know. We'll see. Oh, there it is. Ace-6 for Brian, I think, and Jacks for Rocky. Yeah. And there's a
lot of outs for Ryan. It's an
open-ender, 3-4-5.
It's an open-ender with an ace.
Ace gets there.
Like H36.
Or Rock. That's a tough way to go. A nice tournament, Rocky. Very nice tournament. Brian Soja has come back from 25,000 to. He's got a lot of chips now.
Yeah, it's 400 maybe back where he started.
I wonder if he's higher than that.
Could be.
Here comes some more. Yeah, here. He made him at 400 before he got the rest of the middle. Oh yeah, Rocky had a bounty as well, so he's. I think Rocky actually had I think we put an entry into the Hawaiian Dream. We have this Hawaiian Dream winner take most tournament on Thursday. And I think Rocky had one of those on. So Mr. Sojum, we might see him Thursday night as well.
I like that tournament idea so much that we're considering canceling our flight to play it.
I heard that. That's cool. Well, you guys want to go to Hawaii, right?
Yeah, we love Hawaii.
I've never been.
We love it.
It's a pretty sweet trip. It's a pretty exciting trip. But
Who donated that?
as an anonymous donor.
Wow.
Yeah, and
So it
fantastic.
could have been me.
It could have been you.
It wasn't
Yeah, it could have been you.
It wasn't me.
Yeah. All you listeners out there.
It wasn't me. I would have just gone.
But then again,
away.
you can't win your own tournament, so you know it wasn't you.
That's right.
I'm gonna rule out one. I'll let you know it wasn't you.
Okay.
There's several billion people left in the world that it could have been.
It wasn't
But no,
Brian. It wasn't Brian's project.
It was one of those just fantastic donations that they wanted to incorporate into All In for Africa, the main tournament today. But we're like, how do we incorporate this? We couldn't put it as a bounty on somebody. That's
much,
crazy.
Yeah, so much bigger than anything else.
And so we did play with, adding it to the prize pool and all those things. But
4-on-1.
but what we decided is create its own separate tournament, and we're gonna see how that goes. Kind of a winner take most.
That is very cool. It's like a $10,000 value. That's-
It's $9,500 is the estimated value. It's first class flights from Minneapolis to Hawaii. If you went from Vegas, I'm sure we can arrange something there. But it's also 7 days, 6 nights at the Four Seasons in Maui. $100 a day resort credit, which I'm not sure how much you spend at the resort, but that's at least a nice piece of it.
If I have $100 a day credit, I'm spending $100.
Well, right, you'll spend
That's how much.
more than that. But
Yeah.
so it's a great, incredibly generous donation for sure. And so part of running it as a separate tournament is, maximizing our charitable impact. So what we've done is we've oh, nice win there for Rob, nice pickup. We've added some tournament lammers too. So it's not just the prize for first place. We're giving away $1,000 in running aces lammers for second, $500 for third, and then $250 for fourth and fifth each. So
What's the buy-in on that tournament?
it's a 120 plus 20, so it's a 140. It's
$140 buy-in tournament, and
The prize pool's fixed, so we're not going to change the prize pool based on entries. It could be
the
huge
prize pool's
overlay.
going to be like $13,000, $12,000.
Somewhere around there, yeah. Okay, well, 2,000 of lammers total, so about 11.5.
11. Okay.
Yep.
And wow, that's going to be. There's no way. It's almost hard to imagine there wouldn't be an overlay in that.
Yeah, because normally a Thursday night tournament's not going to get 120 entries or whatever it would take
And
to
then-
get there.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be a great.
And then the charitable side of it too, we're going to pick up another, hopefully another $11,000 or whatever in charitable impact. So
Yeah.
we turn All In for Africa from what's already huge, 18,000 being our biggest we've ever had today. We could be approaching $20,000 or $30,000 in terms of a total impact.
That
So
is fantastic.
staggering.
We'll be back. Our flock cam will be back in just a moment.
We'll hope nothing happens in the meantime
We
here.
had a loose cable connection to the power source, and this was the only one on that power source. And it keeps, when it goes out, then the battery gets low.
Oh, sure.
Should be back in a minute.
Well, it looks like Crystal's going to start promoting something right now. Is that next level? Or what is
I
that?
believe it's next level poker.
Oh yeah,
which is
Jordan is like
Hang out with Fox.
nice. That's a good looking cap.
Yeah, there we go. Another next level poker hat at the final table, and there's our tech guy Tim.
Yeah, doing
And
good
they're
work again.
Trying to get our flock cam fixed.
So I'm not sure what the action was here. I don't know if Gus faced a raise and defended. I think he might have been under the gun and raise opened and just took it down. Yeah, so Crystal's now representing. Is it Jordan's goal to get everybody at the table wearing a next level hat?
I think it is.
We only have one more hat left.
Yeah.
Look at that one more.
That's gonna
Well, you guys could give up yours if you really cared about the product. You gotta get Rob to give up his. I
Flock
mean,
cam is
Rob's got a great looking hat though, so I don't know if you're gonna be able to get him to give up his hat. I mean, right? That's a nice looking hat. I don't know what it says on it, but it looks good in it.
Well, it's definitely the right hat for Crystal, and it looks great on a camera. It's really
Right. Yeah, she just holds that pose right there.
Perfect. In the future, we're going to be interviewing people as they bust out and having them do commentary a little bit with us to
Oh,
talk
nice.
to us
I can
about
totally
it.
interview a local bus.
You want to get somebody in here right now? You want? Okay.
It's a monumental situation. We're fine.
So we're down to 5. Rocky Valley was our last, bust out at 6:02. The jumps after the next one start to be real money.
Yeah, so what do we got? 772 guaranteed right now.
772, and then 1,000 after that, and then 1,500 after that.
And whether the money means a lot to you or not, I mean, a $330 pay bump on a $120 buy-in, and that starts, you start getting 3x the buy-in. Or for some of us, $600 buy-ins.
Yeah.
whatever it might have been, whatever it might have been for you.
Still 40 kill.
I think Brian
GY?
might have had the most buy-ins. He
GY?
talked about having a bunch.
He has in the past, but not today. Actually, I bought it. I paid more into the
You the
tournament than
record
Brian today. But actually, I think Mike Iverson.
Oh, I'm told that it was actually Isaac today.
Oh, really? Because I know Mike Iverson had a lot too.
Oh, do we know how many times Isaac bought in?
I'm on the first table.
Were they
Oh,
just
wow.
rebuys? Or were they full?
Oh,
Reload for 5, rebuy for 10, reload for 5. I would say 5 straight for sure.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. So there's a.
That was after the first table of the day broke.
Thanks to Isaac Tucker for the massive donation and buy-ins.
Well, he won the tournament last time, so
That's true.
He's
got
giving
himself
back.
Title
back in.
defending, he said.
He's giving back.
Ti- Yeah, right. Title defending.
Yeah, so we will have a new All for Africa champion today with Mike Engelhop busting too. So we do have a little All for Africa trophy as well.
Thank you. Andrew E. still shooting 200. Interest check only. Thank you. Mike
I always
E.
tell people
still
we're
shooting-
non-profit, so we
Thank
can't give you a big trophy. But we've got a nice. We've got a guy that makes these.
Still shooting 200.
I'll wait for these.
GW.
Can't wait for it to be done. But we got a guy that
Jason
Dan
G.
Bielen.
Still shooting
He might
200.
be
Thank
listening
you.
too, but he makes a lot of
Ryan
these
Sure.
things for our trophies and things to give out to players.
XC still shooting 200.
Is that his profession?
It's not. He just does that on the side.
think he does?
He's
That's
very
really
good
neat.
with medals and.
They're very cool. The little splash pot things and all those things. Those are really.
Yeah. I think Jordan was chatting with him a little bit earlier too with Dan, but yeah, he's been incredibly generous. He actually made a very nice trophy for us. It's an Africa thing. It's beautiful. It's really heavy metal, and we're gonna etch names on there with the champions and that sort of thing. So it's kind of a
That's
fun.
a good idea.
Yeah, no, he's been incredibly generous. So shout out Dan if you're listening. I didn't see the pre-flop action. Looks like Crystal's gonna fire again here out of the big.
Yeah.
Is it just blind versus blind, maybe? Oh no, Rob's got cards, I think. Yeah, he lays it down again. She comes right out. Let's see what Gus is at.
I'm gonna go play with the cameras for a second. And Jordan's
All right.
gonna commentate with you.
All right, sweet. Jordan, what do you think? Who's your favorite here, based on what you've seen as far as the action's going? Who's playing well? What do you think? Got a favorite here?
Kevin, you got one seat back there on 3?
Yeah. It's been good play. I mean, it's hard to argue with Soja's momentum he's got going.
Thank you. Gary A. 3-6
Came back with
still.
such a small stack.
Gary.
Crystal, I like
A.
what she's doing. I mean, she's playing
3-6
tough.
still.
She's leading a lot of pots. She's winning a lot of pots.
D.
But Brian's
200
getting one
on
of those
high.
lucky massages now.
Uh-oh, what's going on there? Is that Heidi in there? Nice. Free massages.
She's a professional.
Is she a massage? Does she do
And
massage?
she always keeps it professional.
Okay. Is that what she?
No
Is she,
shenanigans.
is she a massage therapist? Is that what she is?
No.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm like, I don't. That can be fooled. I'm so gullible. But you look on the other side of the table though. I mean, Vic Pepe. I play a lot with Rob Meyer. I played a lot with Gus Hansen. I play a lot with all those guys. Are really tough too. I think Crystal's got a lot of momentum. Man, I don't know. It's a fun final table.
She threatened to do a lot of things to improve our ratings on camera here today. So I'm impressed
did
it was
that?
only a massage.
Oh, Heidi did? Oh, sorry. She was trying to improve ratings. Yeah, do you guys have like a 7-second delay in case you need to block
Thank
something out
heavens
here?
it's the internet.
Right, exactly. What does the FCC charge of here? So I think Gus might be on the button here. It looks like he opened from the button, and Crystal looks like she's got some intentions to defend. Defended maybe more. Let's see. That looks like that might be a raise. Those are a lot of. That looks like that might be a raise for. I'm not sure. Gus might have limped. I think Gus might have limped, and she might have popped it to $1.50 or something.
Yeah, you're not going to get away with the limp very often at
Yeah,
this stage of the game.
he's been limping a little bit, and I think he's had some success with it, but it's tough, I think, to maintain. It'd be good. I mean, he's got him kind of set up for a big limp shove here. I mean, if he ends up having a hand. Let's see. I mean, she may have just called. Okay, maybe he did open and she just called. Let's see. So she decided not to lead out that time. She'd been leading out a fair amount.
Attention
of
guys, we're opening up a new 2 to 100 for Cam, Miller,
She just lays
Andrew
it
E,
down.
Mike E, JW, GW, Jason G, and Ryan
I
E.
think she might have read a
Brand new
monster.
2 100
She might
for
have what?
Cam,
Read a monster.
XC,
Yeah.
Ryan E.
So I think Gus
Jason
maybe
G,
did open
GW,
there.
Mike E,
He'd been
Andrew
limping, but
E,
he might have
and
opened,
Miller,
she called,
table
and
number
then-
6
Pulled to the continuation.
for that
bet.
brand new 2 to 100 spread.
That's women. They read you.
Is that what it is?
So, by the way, you guys can't see those pinstripes on her pants, but speaking of things you might need to delete with the FCC.
you don't like the pinstripes?
Oh, they're great. They're
Oh.
great. I don't know, but if you had a chance to zoom in on those pinstripes,
Oh, is there more to the story than we're aware? Yeah. So everybody at home is now like zooming in, trying to see what's on there.
They spell out a message.
Oh, they do. Oh, all Well, now I'm all intrigued. I gotta go check it out.
She's got a lot to say.
But we don't have to worry about the FCC. We're on Twitch.
Right, that's what we were wondering. Yeah.
So,
So Gus picked up a nice spot while you were gone there.
excellent. I think those camera adjustments make things a little easier. Now we can see all the action in front of Crystal. See what's going on here a little better.
So who opened here? Did he just shove it? Rob shove?
Rob just might have shoved.
He might have just shoved, yeah. Okay. He's under the gun.
GY, 4A kill.
Nice stack.
GY. Last call. No? Table number 1.
Rob's wearing light colored.
Attention guys, we have immediate seating for 4-8 Omaha High and 2-100 Omaha High.
With Vic on Vic. There we go.
So we just had a comment from Melissa. She says she can't find her cheaters. Can somebody tell her what Crystal's pants say?
We,
Are we not allowed to say?
well, I don't know what the swearing policy is on Twitch.
Oh, okay. So, so we'll just
so
let
I'll
it go
leave it
right
alone.
there. We'll just let it go. What's the action here? Big and the big? No, big and small.
Vic,
Just folder. Oh no, Gus must have got
Gus might have
something.
limped and Vic raised him. There's chips in front of Gus, but
Yeah.
he's the only one that I didn't get the camera on before I could see the action in front of him.
Yeah, I didn't see what he pulled out of the stack there. I didn't see, but Rob's still determining what to do here. So Gus did something out of the under the gun here. It's like Vic shipped from the, or didn't ship. I guess Vic raised from the small for most of the stack though. There's a ship by Rob. And Vic gets it in.
Vic called it. So they must have hands here.
Yeah,
And
Rob's
Rob
got
would
his
have to have a
hands.
hand to get it in here.
I think Vic likes it when he sees Rob. Let's see.
I see 7 spots. I see
Boy,
an ace 7 for
I think Vic is asking if anybody folded an ace, so Vic must have ace something.
Yeah, it's got
must, must be a pair.
It's an ace 7 for Vic.
Yeah, it looks like he's asking everybody, you hold an ace? You hold an ace? Let's see, it looks like we're going to count it out before we actually see the hands here. Are you a fan of that, or do you like just running it and see what happens?
I just would run it.
Yeah, so ace,
Let's find out.
ace 7 of clubs, suited ace here for Vic, and Rob's looking at kings. Got one of the club blockers.
I think Vic
but
is just happy because it could have been a lot worse.
yeah. You know,
Right, running against a better ace would have been
Yeah.
worse. So
it looks like Rob's got Vic covered here. Looks like him
Yeah.
pretty easily. I don't know easily, but he's got him covered.
it's a big pot though.
Vic, I love that look on Vic's face. Like, let
It's
me,
like he knows he's going to win it. Like,
let me see. He's a confident dude. Let me
How
steal
happy-
another one.
I'm so happy I got it in here.
That's a pretty bleak. That's pretty bleak. No. Yeah, it is a terrible flop he announces. Yeah. And Rob with a nice big pick up there. Vic, great job, 5th place.
So
Good guy, Vic.
Crystal and Rob are our chip leaders now. We're gonna take a brief break, and I'm gonna move those cameras around, see if we can get another interesting shot here. With 4 people, we can do things a little differently.
Cool. Nice job, Vic. Yeah. Were you asking people on ace? Is that what you're doing?
Huh?
You were asking
Yeah,
people
yeah,
on
yeah.
ace?
Yeah, yeah.
It looked like, I think he's asking,
Attention guys,
he's asking
if
people
you're
if they
interested
folded
in
an
playing
ace.
2 to 100.
Nobody had one, so
Two spots
I
left available on a brand new 2 to 100. Please come to the club board if you're interested in playing.
Yeah, it was a terrible flop on me there.
Yeah. Nice run though, man. Thanks for playing too and bounty there.
Means a lot. Thanks for
Oh, yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure.
I keep thinking you're going to come back, but you keep not working. I keep trying to. I'm like, I got to get out of this.
And I'm down to the ante and the
25,000, right? Yeah. I was down to 25,000. Gary gave me one free gift just to do the and Crystal was nice enough to break it for me so I could I was going to give it back to him at my end.
Your turn, the director. Since the time is paused, can we go to the bathroom? I know you said it's fine, but it's ultimately your decision.
Everybody's good with that? Sure. Oxycontin with that?
Fine with me.
Alright. Real quick, guys, real quick.
I think that's a pretty slick shot.
I can't smoke.
And
4 minutes. 4 minutes.
we've got a few minutes to move some things
4
around.
minutes to the clock.
All right, we're gonna go off for a minute. All right, we're back four-handed. Vic Pepe finished in 5th for 772. Players took a brief break, and we're back with Gus and Brian playing a pot. Looks like Gus must have raised the cutoff, and Brian defended the small blind. Got a 6-6-7 board, and Brian leads. We've lost Steve Fredlin, but we've gained Jordan Handbridge. An accomplished player, over 100,000 in Hendon Mod winnings, one of the last female player in the 2016 World Series of Poker in any event, and one of our part owners in Next Level Poker. Also an attorney with the Poker Law Firm, Verstandig Law.
Brian takes down another one. It is amazing considering he only had 25,000 there.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
Yep.
talk
It's
about
gotta
shipping
be.
a chair. They talk about it a lot, and most of the time, no one believes it. But Brian really proved that that's possible.
And usually Brian would be my broadcast partner, but this moving from partner to partner thing that I've heard about all my life is actually pretty fun.
End of round. Dealers complete the hands you are on and increase the lines and limits.
That's not bad.
I let that one slide, but he did get a dirty look.
I had it coming. Rob raises the button, and Crystal's been pretty frisky, pretty fearless. She's going to play this one, I think.
Steve's back. He's been doing a great job announcing the action.
Thanks, Cam. Appreciate it.
I always say I've got this blonde hair dye that suddenly seeps in, and you're pretty darn good at keeping track of what's going on.
Well, I'm super intrigued. I love the game. So. I got stuck talking with Rob, though, so he...
Dennis F. for 3-6 kill. Dennis F.
Sorry, I got stuck talking to Rob there. We were exchanging bad beat stories in Vegas, which
Oh, I'm glad I missed it.
we don't really love to talk bad beat stories. No, we weren't really getting into the detail of it, but... nice.
So absurdly intolerant of bad beat
No,
stories
it
at
really
this
wasn't.
point.
It was one of those just those general sort of things. But no, Rob actually, I was talking to him and I both played day 2 of the Hall of Scream.
Oh.
We played together for quite a while, and Rob made it all the way to 8th there, so he's been on a nice little run. It is funny now, like you probably experienced this too, but like having the Rec Poker podcast too, like it's unbelievable. I'll play a daily event or whatever. People come to me all the time. Here's my bad beat story. Here's my bad beat story. Here's my bad beat story. Or here's one for the podcast. And some of them are really interesting. Like I'm interested by the ones that are actually really good spots. Like do decision, but I do get a little bit weary of. You had pocket queens and you lost. Yep.
I am amazed when you're in a tournament and somebody at your table, their buddy will come by who's just busted out. I'm out. And the dummy at the table will say, "Oh, what happened?"
I know.
I go, "Did you just ask for a bad beat story
And you
for
know
a
what?
whole table?"
Yeah.
Shut
And
up, man.
I'm Minnesotan, so I make that mistake too because I'm trying to be nice.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what happened? Like, oh wait, no,
No, never mind. Pretend
I just want you to
didn't
say I had a good hand, I lost.
happen. Yeah. I did something stupid and I'm out.